Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from Strait Shores, New Brunswick, Canada. Today is June the 19th, 2026, and you are watching episode 153. Welcome. This is a podcast where I share with you all my knitting adventures, my crocheting, my spinning. Yes, there is spinning again. And yeah, stash acquisitions, that's a thing too. I do have that this week. So yeah, there's lots of fun things. You can hit the like button down below and subscribe. It does help, and I do appreciate it very much if you did so. So thank you. To all of my returning viewers, welcome back. Thank you for your support. And to any new viewers, welcome. So this week I do have some finished objects. I have some works in progress. As I said, I do have some spinning. And I do have stash acquisitions. I went to my very first yarn festival, so I picked up some goodies. So that is what's in store for today's episode. Show notes can always be found down below. There's a more button that you can click a couple times, and I will link you directly to any makers that I talk about today. And I link you directly to them rather than my Ravelry pages. My Ravelry is just a simple means of a portfolio for myself. So I'm not really good at putting notes in there and stuff like that. So yeah. You can find me most active on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast. I am on Ravelry if you are interested in going over there. You can add me as a friend if you wanted to. I'm X Country Girl 1986X. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So grab your beverage of choice, grab your craft of choice, and we will get right into it. Today I have a coffee with me, and this is in my beautiful mug by Kaylee Cook Pottery. She is a local potter from my local farmer's market in Sackville, New Brunswick. I have a couple of her mugs, and I just love them. They are so beautiful. So beautiful. Cheers, everybody. Okay, so let's start off with finished objects. I do have some that are knitted and crocheted, and I think I'm going to start with the crocheted ones again, just because I do have a finished pair of socks, so that will just glide into works in progress. So I did two bunnies this week, and I did Junie again. This is Junie and Bean by Oak and Marlowe. So Junie is like the bigger version of the bunny, and Bean is like a little version that if you wanted to, she would be holding it in her arms. So the arms, if you did want that option where Junie is holding Bean, there is a different arm that you would do. That way the baby is cradled in her arms like so. It's very adorable. Go check out Oak and Marlowe, and they have a website, oakandmarlowe.com, I believe. They are on Ravelry, and they are on Etsy. I know I talk about them all the time. I just love them, their patterns so much. They are paid for patterns, but they are definitely worth it. But yes, this is Junie. So I didn't do Bean, I just did Junie. I did her once before, and I absolutely adored her. And I actually got a request to do another one, so I will show you that in a minute. But this is the first one I did. I decided to do a contrasting white cottontail on her. This is Burnett Blanket. I don't know what the colorway is. It's just Burnett Blanket. 7mm crochet hook, because that is my preferred hook, and I believe that is the hook that's recommended in the pattern as well. So there's my first one, and she does come with these cute little details on her paws, just her footsies. So there's my first one. I really love that gray marl. And then here is the second one that I did. And I absolutely love her too. This is Burnett Blanket again. This is Burnett Baby Blanket in the Baby Sand colorway. And if you want to know why I know that color, is because I was searching for that color yesterday when I went out and unfortunately did not find it, but that's okay. I thought I was playing Yarn Chicken with this, but I had enough yarn to finish it, so thank goodness. But yes, this is Burnett Baby Blanket. And I did the white cottontail again. I don't know, it's just adds a little character, that's all. So there are my two Junie and Bean bunnies, but these are both Junies. Like I said, Bean is just a little bunny. I have yet to do that, and I should probably do that the next time, and there will be a next time I make Junie again. I would probably do the modification with the arm and make Bean, and I think that would be super adorable. I just have yet to do it. So I am just slightly intimidated by the arm, but I probably shouldn't be. That's silly. Okay, so Oak and Marlowe, go check them out. Again, like I said, very wonderful patterns. Okay, that's it for the crocheted portion of the podcast. I have been working on my turtles, the plush 2-in-1 turtles. However, I'm not going to show those because I have to do the same colorway over and over, and I showed it, I think, on the last podcast. So I'm not going to keep showing you guys repetitively, but I have been working on an order for those, so I'm not going to share that with you. So that has taken up a little bit of my crocheting this week, but I'm just not going to share that with you because, yeah, no. So that's it for the crocheting portion of it. Now we'll get on to the knitting. I finished my shorty socks. This is nobody's pattern. It's just a recipe that I use. I cast on 64 stitches for the cuff. I think I did 13 rounds for the leg on this one because I wanted to keep the 3 stripes. Like I wanted it to stay kind of, you know, cohesive like that. So I think I did 13 rows for the leg, went into my slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and then I knit these for roughly a women's size 11. I had one of my customers ask, so I thought I would do that. This is the Cozy Vibes self-striping sock set by Polka Dot Creek. And I don't know why I'm going to share this with you because it never wants to focus right, but this is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get a 50-gram skein of your self-striping, and you get a 20-gram mini with it. And this was the mini. This is espresso. That's what I did the cuffs and the heels in. Cozy Vibes. And then the brown is just a brown that I had in my mini skein stash. I have no idea what it is. I was just afraid that I would not have enough yarn to do the cuffs, heels, and toes, and I was afraid of running out. So I still think I would have ran out of the contrast, but now that I have finished the socks, I realized that I could have done the toes in my main color here in the self-striping. That's okay. I didn't want to play Yarn Chicken because I did the longer foot. I was kind of nervous that I was going to run out of yarn, but I didn't have to worry about that. But it doesn't matter. I love the way that they turned out, and they are fabulous. I do still have a few ends to weave in, but they are finished. And I'm so happy. This is pair 15 for hand knit socks of 2026. Again, I am counting my hand knits and my crinked socks separately. So that is fingering weight, by the way, if I didn't say that. So Polka Dot Creek, go check them out. They are doing their version of Summer Sock Camp right now. The pre-orders, I don't know if they're still up or not, but they have 3 colorways for this year. I don't think it has anything to do with Kay Litton's Summer Sock Camp, but I'm not sure. I just know that they're calling it Summer Sock Camp, and there's 3 different colorways, and they're all beautiful. So go over to Polka Dot Creek and do check that out. They look phenomenal. As I said, I don't know if the pre-orders are still up or not though, but they have lovely yarns. Okay, so that's all I have for finished objects. Gonna take another sip. And we will get on to works in progress. So for works in progress, I honestly didn't do a lot. I'm not sure. This week was another slow week, I feel, for me. I've just been kind of, I haven't lost my mojo or anything like that. I've just been taking it a little bit slower. And so I don't feel like I have a lot to show for. But I did start the shorty socks, and this was, I did show this the last time on the podcast. I showed the yarn, and I said I wasn't sure. I had 2 skeins, and I wasn't sure which one I was going to cake up. Well, I decided to cake up the Yarnable. This is in the pumpkin patch colorway, I think. Let me just pull it out here. Right. So, Yarnable. This is a subscription service by Cheryl of Hypnotic Yarn. It is on her plush sock base, which is fingering 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards per 100 grams. And it is in the pumpkin patch colorway. And that is the one that I decided to go for. I just really loved the colors of them. I really love the plush sock base. It's so soft and squishy. So I'm doing another shorty sock. So I casted on 2 64 stitches, 2x2 ribbing for about 15 rows. I think I did 10 rows, if I remember correctly, for the leg. And then I did my slip stitch, heel flap, heel turn, and now I just need to pick up my gusset stitches. I do this on a, I know it looks really weird right now, I do this on Magic Loop. I use a 40-inch cable. I just feel more secure with a 40-inch. I know there are people out there that only use a 32-inch cord. I prefer a 40-inch. It's all personal preference. So yeah, 2mm Chagu red lace, and I got it this cute little heart bookcase stitch stopper. This was from Area 51 Fibers. Sadly, she does not have it anymore, but I really adore it. And I use one. You do get 2, of course. It's just that I find with the 2mm knitting needles, if you were to put one stopper on the needle, it tends to want to fall back off. So I just take one stopper and I just push both needles through one, and it holds it in there perfectly. So that's what I do. Here's the cake of yarn. I will just show you it in all its glory so you can see the colors. And then I just have this progress keeper. I don't know where I got this one from. I just thought it matched really well. So once I get my sock, like my gusset stitches picked up, I will start using that. So that is one of the socks that I am working on. Shorty socks right now, they're kind of the thing that I want to do just because it's summer. So I'm trying desperately right now not to cast on another pair of shorty socks, but instead work on these ones because It's hard, guys. It's really hard. I cast off a pair of socks and I really want to cast on a new pair. And I have all these other socks that I need to finish first. So we'll see what happens, but I'm going to try to finish what I have started first. Okay. So I didn't really work on any other socks that I'm aware of. As I said, it's been a slower week. But what I did cast on, and I'm just pulling up something on my tablet here so I can show you. I did visit the Atlantic Yarn and Fiber Festival on Sunday. It was this past weekend in Shediac, and I will talk about more about it later in Stash Acquisitions. But I was just really inspired by a lot of people's sweaters and their t-shirts, and it was just so inspiring to see everybody's tops. And I got some ideas, and I realized that now I know of Samantha Guerin. I was always pronouncing her last name wrong. It's Guerin. I've already knew of Samantha Guerin, but I didn't realize that she had such beautiful top designs, and she had so many of them. So I always looked at her shawls because I love my shawls, but I didn't realize that she had so many beautiful top patterns. So I decided, I saw that I believe this is the same top. I'm pretty sure it is. I went through Samantha's Ravelry page, and I believe I pulled up the exact same top, but Nancy Wheeler, her daughter, was volunteering up front, and she was wearing this beautiful, I saw the cardigan, her cardigan first, and then I saw that she was wearing this beautiful tank top, and it had lace work in it, and I asked her what it was, and she told me it was Samantha Guerin, and I just can't remember what she told me the top's name was. So like I said, I went on to Samantha's Ravelry here, and I believe I found it. And even if I picked the wrong one, it doesn't matter. This one is just, it's stunning. So without further ado, hopefully you guys can see this without it. There we go. Samantha Guerin, this is Summer Session. Beautiful fingering weight tank top. As you can see, it's got this beautiful lace detail. It is a V-neck. This will be my first V-neck sweater or t-shirt. I can't say that it's my first fingering weight because I did cast on, this was like several years ago, I casted on a t-shirt. Okay guys, we're back. Apparently I ran out of storage on my phone. So, Samantha Guerin, the Summer Session tank top. I decided that I was going to cast that on, and like I said, this is not my first fingering weight tank top. I did cast on a tee, I believe it was by Caitlin Hunter. And I was having, that one was a bottom up. It's got a beautiful lace detail on the bottom. Very beautiful. I was doing it in Cozy Posy. Unfortunately, I have yet to find that project bag. Oh, I know, it's sad. I will find it. I know that it is here. I just have to find out where it is. But I know that I was having problems because it's bottom up. And I went to do the neck shaping or the arm shaping. I think it was the neck shaping, and I messed up somewhere. So I had put that in timeout. So I haven't touched that in like a couple years. So I need to find that project again and pull it back out because it is a t-shirt and it's fingering weight. I really love the project, but for right now, I can't find it. So I'm figuring it's summer. I got really inspired by the one that I saw at the Atlantic Fiber Fest, and I saw a couple that I really liked at the Atlantic Fiber Fest by Samantha Guerin, but this is the one I chose. So without further ado, I have it in this beautiful bag. Here, let me open it up. It's got like one of these clips on it. This is by Wonder Twin Fiber Arts. Nice size project bag. And it is just plain inside, which I like. And for this, it is a fingering weight tank top. However, I don't have a couple skeins of fingering weight in my stash that I could use that are one color. Surprise, surprise. I have all this yarn behind me, but I don't have at least three. I would say 3 skeins is what I would need, 3 to 4 for my size, because I like my stuff a little bit oversized. But I don't have that. I only have single skeins, and that's one of my issues when I buy yarn, is that I buy single skeins because I love to knit socks, but I don't really think of sweater quantities of fingering weight yarn because it kind of scares me. Fingering weight, I can knit a shawl with that, no problem, but a top, it's a little bit intimidating. So all that to say, what I did have in my stash was sport weight. And it is the Knitting Loft. I shared this with you guys not too long ago. I had just acquired it. This is their Willow Base, which is 100% Rambouillet non-superwash. It is 310 yards per 100 grams, and it is, like I said, a sport weight in the Blue Waves colorway. Not that it's going to focus for you to read that, but there it is. So what Bobby decided to do was do something that she normally doesn't do. That's make a gauge swatch. And here's my little gauge swatch. I have not washed it and blocked it yet, but I got gauge. So I did go down a needle size. So I'm using a 3.5 millimeter. It calls for a 3.75 millimeter. And I got gauge. So I'm going with it, guys. We are gonna do this. And sport weight doesn't seem so intimidating. It's not far off from fingering, but I'm gonna go with it. We're going with it. So I did my gauge swatch, and I'll just show you the yarn really quick. It's very beautiful. Now, I have spun with Rambouillet before, and I absolutely loved it. Have I knitted with it? No. I've never knitted with Rambouillet before, and you guys, I absolutely love it. It is so beautiful. It is a dream to work with, and here's what we got started. So this summer session is knitted from the top down, which is how I prefer to knit my garments. And this is what we have so far. So you start with the back panel. I don't want to give too much away because it is a paid for pattern, but you start with the back panel, you do some shaping, and then you just knit flat until you get to your measurements. So that is what I am doing right now. It's kind of a curled up mess right now, but you get the gist. So pretty. So this is a couple, this is like a couple hours worth of work. I didn't get a lot done on it, but I'm just working on it in between other projects, which is great for TV knitting, obviously, because it's just plain stockinette. So I am just working on that, and hopefully, even if I don't get it done for the summer, which I really hope I do, but even if I don't, it's a Rambouillet, so I'm sure it's going to be really nice for the fall and even the winter with a cardigan. I just think it's going to be a really great piece to add to my collection. And I'm super excited that it's going to be a thinner weight. It's going to be a tank top. It's going to be nice. So that's what I have started, and I'm really, really excited for it. I think it's just going to be amazing. So Samantha Guerin summer session, do check it out, and do check out her other patterns as well. She's got several tank tops and t-shirts, and I believe she's got full length sweaters as well. I did not look at them all because I didn't want to be tempted too much. I was just particularly looking for that pattern. So yeah, I'm super excited for this. So wish me luck that I actually keep working on it and get it finished. So there is that. And that's pretty much all that I have been working on this week. Doesn't seem like a lot, does it? Those bunny rabbits take a minute though, so. Okay, what do we do next? How about we do spinning first? So I'm super excited about that. Okay, so let me just grab my bag here. I keep my nano e-spinner in just a tote bag here. Keeps my fiber in there, it keeps all the cords in there, my spinning wheel. It's fabulous. It's just a bag that I picked up from Fabricland. Okay, so just gonna pull everything out here. So I kind of shared this with you guys last week. I did 3 bobbins of some fiber that I dyed, which was a Corriedale at Gobsmacked Yarns in the fall. So here's one of the bobbins. You can see the pretty blue, which really, my blue really turned purple when I spun it up, which is really interesting. But you can see some green in there. So there's one of the bobbins. You can see more of the green underneath there. And I got 3 bobbins. 2 of them are pretty much the green and that purpley color. My 3rd bobbin is green and gold, because when I dyed my braid, I did gold, like a yellowy gold. I did green, and then I did what I thought was going to turn out to be blue. And it's really funny when you spin things up how it changes a bit, compares to what it looks like in the braid. And I'm still learning that process. But it's very interesting and fun. So those are those 3 braids. And as I said last time on the podcast, I was watching Rachel is Knitting, and she's really inspiring me when it comes to spinning and being a little bit more adventurous with my spinning. So I showed you guys last time, I pulled out this braid, and I have no idea what it is because it didn't have a tag on it, but it is this beautiful braid here. Now this I already stripped down into 3, so I just rebraided it roughly. So each section, I think this one is the chunkier one of the 3. I didn't weigh them out, but I'm gonna guess that this one is a little bit heavier than the first 2. But it is what I'm gonna guess is merino silk blend. So it's got black. It does have some green in there, some blue, and this gorgeous aqua. Oh my god, that is stunning. I just love this color so much. So for my first braid, what I did, the one that I hand dyed, the Corriedale, I decided when I pulled that braid apart, I had 3 sections of color. So I just started, say this was the whole braid, and we've got the black, we've got this bluey green section, and we got the aqua. So what I did is I pulled it apart here where the aqua meets the blue green, put that onto one bobbin, did this blue green section on another bobbin, and then I did all the black on another bobbin. That's just a reference to the first one I made. For this braid, it looks like this. I ripped it down into 3. So it's going to come out looking a little bit different. I don't know what that's called just yet. My knitting terminology is not great. I have been spinning for, I'm gonna say 13 years, but I never really dove too deeply into it. However, Shades of You was at the Atlantic Fiber Festival, and she told me about a book. It's called Unbraided, and it's actually really amazing. It is a self-published book. I highly recommend it. I haven't read through the whole thing yet, but I kind of went through bits of it. They talk about color theory and how when you go to spin, certain colors will blend together, which totally, as I said, with the one I hand dyed, it looked blue, but the way that it spun up, as you can tell by the bobbins, they look purple. So it's a really amazing book. It helps you kind of figure out, like, this is what the braid looks like. How can we tear this braid down and create a different looking skein, different looking skeins, and maybe there's a particular look we're going for, and how we can make this braid turn into that look. Something that I didn't realize, it also comes down into the way that you ply the yarn. So there's a 2-ply, there's a 3-ply. Yeah, I knew about those, but there's a fractal spin. There's a combination spin. I have no idea. I've heard those words before, but I just didn't have no idea what they were. There's a chain ply. I knew of that. Tried it. Don't like it. But when you do these different plying methods, they affect the way that your hand spun will turn out. So it's very interesting to check out. And I'm going to further my research about it because I am very interested now in learning more about it. I'm going to Google fractal plying and combination plying and stuff like that, and just learn more about it. That way I can get my skeins of yarn to actually turn into something that I would love to really work with. Not that I don't love working with the ones that I already spun. I'm very happy with the ones that I've already spun. They're currently sitting in stash because they're precious and I just need to get over that and knit with them. My other problem is that I don't have enough yardage. I find when I have a 4-ounce braid, I ply it. Usually I do a 3-ply because that's what I prefer. I don't really have enough yardage to do anything really with. So I have a lot of these smaller skeins of hand spun in my stash that I don't really know what to do with. So I need to figure that out one day. But I'm just trying to be more thoughtful when it comes to my spinning, and yeah, making something that I can actually knit up and wear and love and adore. So all that to say, I got my 3 Corriedale bobbins already spun up. I already have 2 of the mysterious merino silk. You can see that beautiful aqua in there. So that's one of the bobbins. And then here is the second one. And I'm very happy with how thin and consistent I am being with these spins right now. It's very encouraging. I kind of just let it do what it wants to do, and I'm very happy with how it's coming out. And I've just started onto the 3rd section that I pulled apart, and you can see that beautiful aqua there. So I've literally just started this. I haven't had a lot of time to spin this week. I did take it to market on last Saturday, and I plugged it in via my wheelchair. I have this fancy adapter that plugs into my wheelchair to charge my phone. And I am happy to report back that I pretty much spun the full 4 hours that I was at market, and it did not really affect the battery power at all on my wheelchair. So super excited about that. I do have my new power bank now, so I do have that in my bag as well. But it's just super exciting that I can spin from my wheelchair. That is like awesome. So I will be taking this with me tomorrow to the market, and hopefully, maybe, I will get this final bobbin of fiber all done, and then I will let that sit for a couple days and then figure out how I'm going to ply it. So originally I had said that I was going to do a 3-ply, and then I started working it out in my head that I can't exactly do a 3-ply. I would have to have 3 more bobbins of fiber to spin it up the way that I wish to. So, and I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead for this one is I'm going to do a 2-ply instead. So we'll see how it works up and what I decide to do at the end of the day. But so far it's going to be a 2-ply. And since I have 8 ounces of fiber, that should give me some pretty good yardage. And as I said, I'm doing it pretty thin. So we shall see what I get. This is my Electric Eel, sorry, by Dreaming Robots. They do have the 6.0, I think it is, which is a little bit bigger. So I am spinning my singles on the Eel, and then I have a bigger e-spinner that I got off of Amazon. It comes with normal bobbins and jumbo bobbins, and I'm going to use the jumbo bobbins because they hold up to 8 ounces of fiber, I believe it is. And I'm going to start plying my yarn together. So fingers crossed, maybe by the next podcast I will have a finished skein of yarn of handspun to share with you guys. And then I can do the process of figuring out what it's going to be. I keep dreaming up a shawl, of course, and it'll probably be the Jaunty by Andrea Mowry. Yes, if you watch my podcast, I already have one of those going. No, I have not worked on it yet. Just haven't had the time to work on it yet. But I would finish that one first before I start another one. But that's what I'm kind of thinking. I should have enough yardage to do a Jaunty because Rachel is knitting. She uses her handspun to do the Jaunty as well, and it's they're just stunning. So it showcases the yarn so well. So I think that's what I would do. Okay, that is it for works in progress. I'm gonna now go on into all the goodies that I got at the Atlantic Fiber Fest. So gonna get another sip here. Okay, so we will do a little chat and a little show and tell. So this past weekend was the Atlantic Fiber Festival, which was hosted by Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy, and it was in Shediac, as I said, at the festival. I think it's called the Hockey Festival Arena, something like that. It was amazing. It was so amazing. It was my first one ever. I went with my friend Ren, and yeah, it was just great. Never been to one before because I was always a little intimidated by a festival. I thought they would be a little too overwhelming, but this one was not. Apparently this year they held it in the arena, so there was a lot more space. It was a lot more open, and being in a wheelchair, I can appreciate that because I do not like tight spaces, and especially when there's a lot of people. There was a couple instances at the festival where people would just walk right up behind me as I'm backing up, so that makes me a little bit nervous because I'm in a 356-pound chair. So if I run you over, it's gonna hurt, and I don't want to hurt anybody. So it's just nerve-wracking to be in tight spaces around a lot of people. So I was always intimidated by a festival, but this one, it surpassed everything I had ever imagined a festival would be. It was great. I got to see a lot of friends. I got to meet some new friends and meet new vendors that I had never heard of before. So it was really fun. And we did, Ren and I did a couple loops around. So we did one loop around where we were kind of just like checking everything out first. And then the second, and I think we maybe did a third one, I can't remember, to purchase what we were after. So and I think even Ren too, it was fiber, not really yarn. I don't need more yarn. I have all this back here is all indie dyed yarn. I don't need more of it. I did walk away with one skein, but it was mostly fiber that I was after. And I did not disappoint when it came to that. So I'm just going to set my spinning bag down here. Oh, reach over. So one of the first purchases that I made was actually a little bag. Isn't that cute? Oh, I just love these. I saw these posted last year and I thought they looked incredible. And then when I actually went into their booth and saw them, I had to bring one of them home. So this is Topsail Canvas Totes for Life. I believe they are out of Nova Scotia, Canada. Nope, they are New Brunswick, Canada. I am sorry. And yeah, I just got their little tote. It doesn't have snaps or a zipper or anything, but it is the perfect size for a sock. So in here, I have my Little Ones sock. This is by Kayla Litton, the Little Ones pattern. They go from baby to child size, so I'm doing the child size. This is Area 51 fibers and the Never Not Rainbowing, I believe. So I've got the leg done on them, just haven't worked on them, but I thought this would be the perfect bag for said project, so that's what I got it in. And yeah, it's just the cutest little bag. I love their tag. They had several different colors. They had a bright yellow and I wanted the bright yellow, but this is the only pink one they had. So I was like, I'll go for the pink one. There's their... So I think this is called the Baby Orlock bag. It's hard to read the writing, but I really like it. They got zippered ones, like they look like little pencil cases. So they got either one zipper on them or they have two zippers. Those would be great for a sock project as well. That's what I was originally looking at. But I wanted something with handles on it that I could put onto the back of my chair here. So I wanted something with handles. So that's why I went for this bag. They do have a bigger version of this bag. They also have like larger tote bags, and they have some that have like woven fabric for the pockets in the front. Stunning. And I mean stunning to actually see this in person and feel it. Just such beautiful work. So I highly recommend you check them out. They are on Instagram and I believe they have an online presence. So go check them out. So that was the only bag that I purchased. And then this might be bright. I don't know. I took this bag with me. This is my Frankie Gray Fibers bag. I got this last year, I think, when I ordered from Frankie Gray Fibers online. And I decided this was the bag that I was going to take to the festival with me to fill up with my goodies, and I got so many compliments on it. You could see it like from across the arena. That's how bright it was. Apparently, one lady came up and she's like, "Oh my God, I could see your bag from like across the arena." It's pretty awesome, but that's Frankie Gray fibers, right? So what should I start with? How about we start with the yarn first? So this was actually the last thing that I purchased from the Fiber Festival. This is Leo and Roxy. Surprise, surprise. I love my Leo and Roxy. So glad that I finally got to meet her. Oh, and I just love it. They had a lot of yarn to choose from. I had this skein and a purple one, and this one just won it out. This is called Lucky Charms is the colorway. It is on their sock base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 115 grams. So 490 yards. That is amazing. This would be amazing. Their sock base would be amazing for sweaters. That's some good yardage. And this color is amazing. This is going to be socks, of course. Of course. And I want to cast them on so bad. So bad. Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's so soft. So I picked out this one. I figured I couldn't go to a yarn festival and not bring yarn home. So I needed to get one skein. As I said, they had multiple different sock ones. They had a linen base as well, so you could have gotten a sweaters quantity if you wanted to. They had some beautiful shawl sets that were fingering and mohair, and the shawl, I can't remember what the shawl was called, but I did take a snapshot of the pattern so I could remember. They had a sample of it and it was just gorgeous. They had some sock sets that were there, like their work sock. So it's the white and charcoal marl with the contrasting color. I was very tempted by that, but I did not. I just got one skein. So just so many beautiful things. And yeah, like I said, I was so happy to finally meet her. Totally fangirled on her, but that's okay. We can do that. Okay, so this isn't going to be in particular order at all because I can't really remember. But now we are on to the fiber part of it. So one of the places that I found I really enjoyed, there was several different places that had fiber, and it was hard picking. It really was hard picking. But one of my favorite booths was Lewis and Jane. She is from Prince Edward Island. And when I saw these sparkle bats, first of all, I love spinning from a bat of fiber. They are so much fun. And when I saw these sparkle ones, especially these pink colors and that teal, I just had to have it. So this is Merino, Sparkle, and Sari Silk. And they are 50 grams per bat. And I'm just going to set that one down. I did get another one. So these will be together. They are slightly different. So just let me hold them both up so you can see they are slightly different, but I think they will work beautifully together. So this one here, this is on her Frankenbat. So her Frankenbats are, when she has a bunch of different scraps of fiber, she just puts them all together and mixes it all together. So this one's got merino, it's got sparkle, it's got sari silk, and it's got Shetland in it. What? Shetland? Love it. Oh, that bright bubblegum pink. So beautiful. So, Lois and Jane, sorry. So beautiful. So I cannot wait to spin these up. That is going to be amazing. Just amazing. And I think the Frankenbat is 50 grams as well. Pretty sure of it. So I got those. And then I went to another booth. And this one is Paisley Defender by Sue Smith. And does it say where she is from? No, it does not. She is on Instagram as Paisley Defender. So there's her tag. Again, that's not coming out well. I'm going to try to post each of their Instagrams in the comment section down below for you. If they have them, which I'm pretty sure they all do. So I will try to do that for you. But I found this beautiful bat here. It doesn't even tell me what it is, but look at that. And that, what sold me was that lime green in there. That lime green is just, oh my gosh. There's some pink in there. Some purple. Oh, it's just so beautiful. So this one here, I have no idea. Maybe I will just spin this up by itself and see what it becomes, or maybe mix it with something else. I don't know yet. But I just had to have it. It was just beautiful. And it was a bat. Like I said, I really love spinning from bats. And out of all the fiber that I currently have right now, it is all in braid form, which is fine. But I wanted to bring some bats into my my collection, so now I got some. Alrighty, what do we have next? Okay, next I went to Shades of Ew, and I believe she is from, yes she is, Nova Scotia, Canada. And this is a merino bamboo top. So 70% merino, 30% bamboo, 100 grams. And you guys, it's a rainbow. How gorgeous is that? I absolutely love it. So this one I'm really gonna have to figure out. Do I pull it apart in 3 and spin it from this color all the way down and ply those together, or do I separate the colors somehow and kind of do like a, almost like a self-striping effect or a gradient effect, I guess. I don't know yet. I have to really think about this. If you're a spinner out there and you have suggestions, please leave your comments down below and let me know what you would do with this skein, or this braid, sorry. I think I would pull it apart in 3 or even 2. That I could have more yardage maybe, but oh, it's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I had to bring this one home. I love a good rainbow. And then I got one more. I got to go to Yarn Indulgence's booth, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. It was so nice to finally meet you. She has all of this beautiful yarn, and I was so tempted, but I noticed that she had a shelf of fiber as well. And of course, as I said, I went there for fiber. So this is Yarn Indulgences, hand-dyed in Moncton, New Brunswick. And this one is an 80% superwash merino wool, 20% nylon for socks. And when I saw that, I was just like, yes, I definitely want a spin that I can make socks with. So I picked up this gorgeous braid here. Just bright, funky colors. I love them. Absolutely love them. So I was really hoping with the spin I'm doing right now that it would become socks, but it's not going to, which is fine. So I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm going between two of them right now. So my next spin might actually be this, or try to make some socks. Don't know yet. And I also just realized something. I wonder if I could do a 3-ply with these. I know that they're very different, but would that actually work? I don't know. I don't know. It'd definitely be a barber pole effect, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I don't know. What do you guys think? I just saw that and I thought, huh. So I don't know. There's some options. There are some options. And then just lastly, I got this pattern here for this beautiful hand spun scarf. This is from my friend Shelly. She is local from the Sackville area. This is the mossy scarf. She had kits that she had at the Fiber Festival. So it had 3 skeins of her hand spun. And you could create this beautiful scarf with it. So she gave me the pattern. It's a very simple pattern, and yeah, it looks fun. So I'm gonna put that into my little collection, and maybe this is something that I could do for all my little random skeins that I've already done of hand spun that I don't know what to do with. Maybe I could knit something up like this, so that's an option. So that was my haul from the Atlantic Yarn and Fiber Festival. It was a good one, and I feel very happy about my purchases. I did go in with a budget, and I stayed within that budget, which is also really well. Pat on the back, I guess. So that was fun, but I will definitely go again next year. They already posted next year. I think it's the 12th and the 13th of June 2027, and I think it's at the same location in Shediac, so that is super exciting. So definitely, if I get the chance, I am gonna go back for sure. So yeah, that was my little haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed the goodies that I got to bring home. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to go off and find something to do. I do have a little bit of work that I'd like to get done for the market tomorrow. So I'm going to go off and do that. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you again next week.